Yo, what's going on, everybody? Look, you already know what it is. This is Xavian D and this is the Lewis brand. Look, thank you for tuning into an episode of I Rant Too with Xavian D. Look, I want you to take a second right quick, hit the subscribe button, and make sure to click the bell for notifications on all brand new content. And don't just do it on YouTube. Go right over to my Instagram, at The Real Xavian Lewis. Go right over to my Facebook, Xavian D. Lewis, and let me know what you want to see. Engage with some posts. Hey, I'm going to do some social media things with the podcast, so go right on over and let me know what you want to hear, what you want to see. Now look, let's hop right into today's episode. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of I Rant Too with Xavier D. Lewis. Look, it's episode 3, y'all. You back for the third time, and look, they say, what, a third time is a charm? Boy, girl, I love you. Oh, you don't know how much I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. Look, I can't express my gratitude to each and every one of you for being with me in this journey. Look, don't forget, we are creating a tribe. I'm creating a tribe of successful people. I'm creating a tribe of ranters. I'm creating a tribe of individuals who want to progress their lives, okay? So I want you to join this tribe. Go right down to the link below. Join the Patreon, only $5 a month. Look, you already gonna hear me say it, but I just wanted to remind you, go ahead and hop into these things. Don't forget to go right over to my social media as well. Always posting something on my story, always posting something on my Facebook post that will be integral to my podcast topics. So make sure that you're running over there and seeing those things and participating, right? Participate. Hey, you might get a nice little shout out while you're at it, girl. You know what I'm saying? Go on and put you up. So let's dive into today's episode as well, right? So today's episode is entitled Pick Your Poison. Okay. And we all know how poison works, right? Poison ain't good, but sometimes we just got to pick our poison, just like the 2020 election. But we won't talk about that. So let's start off with sometimes in life we are not dealt the best hand. And, I want to speak personally to this. Like I said, I want to start off every episode talking about me because how can I talk about somebody else and I can't talk about me first, right? A lot of y'all need to take note of that. So sometimes in life, I haven't always been dealt the best hand. Now, I've lived a pretty sheltered life, right? My dad went through some things. My mom was in the military, but I still grew up in a 2-parent household. Had a loving family, had a loving, extensive family. My grandparents are amazing. Brothers, sisters, a plethora of cousins, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, all of them. All family. When I say this is the Lewis brand, I promise you, I'm telling you, it's not just me. It's a whole army of us, right? And not all the times that we've been dealt the best hands. I'm trying to think of a moment off of the top of my head. I probably should have thought about this before, right? But I wanted to make it so natural. Sometimes in life, I just haven't been dealt the exact best hand. But I'm always, how do I want to say this? I'm always thankful for the outcomes because God is always doing what he does regardless of it all. So let's just take, for example, at the age of 7, I live in Natchez, Mississippi, but at the age of 7, my mom got deployed. She got, how do you say it in military terms? It's not deployed because you're still in the States. She got, I'm going to just say relocated to Fort Gordon, Georgia, in Augusta, Georgia. And we were there I was there from age 7 to 10. But the way that things happened was a little bit shady, right? And so we were just not dealt the best hand in how the military honorably discharged my mother. And so we had to pack up everything and just come back to Mississippi. I didn't know this then, but I now know that, some things are coming into place that we were all trying to move back. And I'm in my mind thinking, and this is the funny thing, oh, we just going home for the summer because we used to come back home for the summers and, visit my grandparents, visit my cousins and all that kind of stuff. That's what we used to do during the summer. So I'm thinking to myself, why we got everything with us? We must be staying for a while. I'm thinking we about to get ready to go back. So much to the point, I didn't even tell my friends goodbye. I thought I was coming right back. And it's been 11 years. Haven't been back since. I I wish I just could have told my friends, bye. Hey y'all, if y'all see this, I miss y'all. But no, seriously. And that was just a moment where we were not dealt the best hand, because we literally had to learn how to deal with, well, they had to deal with it. I didn't really have to deal with it, but my parents had to deal with what they were dealt, and they couldn't really change it. You know, it was a horrible situation. Me personally in my life, watch this. So my first ever car, okay, I told you it was going to come naturally to me, where I wasn't dealt the best hand. My first car was a red Chevy Impala, I think like a 2013, 2012. I'm going to tell you the lineage of this car. My brother's in the military. He bought this car. I think it was brand new when he bought it. Off the lot, you know how people, you know, they get the military checks. They go to buying cars. Most people buy them Hellcats, or, you know, they buy them Chargers or something like that. And so I found myself really just, you know, at the point, man, that was a lot of taps, baby. Man, woo. So we have a little system going on. See, I'm talking to y'all. We have a little system going on over here where I'm supposed to do a little tap, and she's supposed to know to go cut the other camera on to kind of conserve a little battery and everything. I mean, I'm over here. I'm almost about to start banging, and she just sitting there looking at me do it. Oh my God. Look, might be looking for another co-producer. Let me find out. So, okay, what I was saying was, got the red Chevy Impala, right? So he drove the car around for a long time, accumulated some mileage on it. Then my mother had a bad wreck, right? But he got deployed to go somewhere, so he gave her the car. So she starts driving the car back and forth from work, and work was like, work used to be like 45 minutes away. So she's driving at least 45, you know, all them kind of miles and everything a day in that car. Okay, bam, that's that. Then my mom gets a new car. My grandmother gets the car. She's driving it. She's taking it, you know, doing what she needs to do. Then my sister gets the car. She's driving it. She's doing what she needs to do. I get the car. By the time I get the car, there are lights on the dashboard, and I don't even know the meaning. I'm telling you, there was lights on in that car, and I couldn't tell you how they got on, when they came on, where they came on. I couldn't tell you, because it was just what happened. Watch this. Sometimes in life, I understand you are literally dealt a horrible hand, and you don't even understand how those things got there, but keep persevering, keep pushing through it. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. So I'm going through all the motions with this car, with this vehicle, and I'm telling y'all, I'm going through the motions. I just got rid of that car not even a month ago, right? Almost about a month ago. And it almost had 300,000 miles on the car. I'm going to say it again. 300,000 miles on the car. I've changed tires. I've been, we did things with that car. I had to get a new alternator on the car. I'm literally sitting at college one night. I'm pulling back into the parking lot, and I'm in the driver's seat. My homeboy in the passenger seat. I'm pulling in, and he said, bruh, did the car cut off? And I'm tapping the wheel like I'm gonna wake it up. And I'm tapping the wheel like, I'm like, bruh, the car went off. And the thing about it is, the battery light had came on, but I was like, that ain't nothing. Pish posh. So I get somebody to come jump me off, and I'm like, okay, it's good. Let it sit here, run for a little bit to kind of get the battery on. By the time they parked and walked back in the building, I put the car in drive. It turned back off again. I say, hey, bro, can you come back downstairs and jump the car off again? So I pull it in the parking lot. Next morning, I'm just like, okay, let me get it on, all that good stuff. Really dealt a bad hand with that car. I had to get a new alternator. I had to do this to it. I had to do that to it. Literally used to be sitting on the side of the road, smoke coming from under the hood. Thing overheating. I'm telling you, went through all that. Dealt a bad hand. But I still had to did I let that stop me? No. I used to be everywhere in that car. Drove to Starkville. Drove to New Orleans, places that, kind of not that I shouldn't have been driving in it, considering the condition of the car. Doing all this kind of stuff in that vehicle. But now look at me. I'm in a 2024 Escape. Bought it in my name. Well, I didn't buy it fully. I wish that would have been a God thing if I could have just came in there and gave them cash for that car, But still, got a car note, got my phone finances, all that good stuff. Yeah, you're fine over there. And so did all of that, and I was just dealt a bad hand, but I had to make best with the hand that I had. Okay, and that's how sometimes in life we have to be. We just have to be best, understand how to use the hand that we have. And I'm going to bring this up, and this is going into the next part of this rant. Where all my HBC, they say it's an HBC culture. When you go to the HBCU or, you hang around your folks long enough, there are at least 2 games you should learn how to play. And I feel like I'm 50% because I know how to play one of them, not really the other. Spades and dominoes. Now, don't ever let me get on no bones table. The black people, they call it bones. Dominoes. And I don't know how to play that. Not yet. I'm not even gonna say I'm learning. I don't care for it. But spades. I like that. You give me deuces wild. You give me that colorful joker, the high joker, the black joker, the low joker. You give me that 2 of spades and that 2 of diamonds. Baby, we can go to work on a spades table. Watch this. I said what I said to say this. In a game of spades, this is my cultural rant. In a game of spades, sometimes you can be dealt a bad hand. I mean, you got a possible. You got maybe 1 book. You're dealt a bad hand from the dealer. What's up? Okay, you're dealt a bad hand from the dealer, right? And you're like, man, but watch this. Just because you're dealt a bad hand doesn't mean that your partner has a bad hand. Watch this. Okay, I don't preach nothing like that, but I did get a little excited. Sometimes in life, we may have been dealt a bad hand, but I promise you, there is somebody sitting across from you. There is somebody on your side, on your team, that has not been dealt a bad hand. There is somebody there waiting to be able to help you. So you might have a possible. You might have maybe just that 1 book. Oh, but your partner sitting across from you, they sitting comfortable. You might be nervous, but your partner, they got 4. They got 6. Oh, they got 7 books in their hand, right? And because of what your partner has, you can still win the game. Wherever you're going to 300, 400, 350, 500 point, whatever, you can still win that book, right? You can still get those books that you need. So you may be dealt a bad hand, and I love spades. Watch this, and I'm gonna tell you what really, and this just should irk everybody in there. If you a true spades player, this irks your nerves. Nothing irks my nerves more than a person who reneges. And don't let me get to talking. And let me tell you something. No. I'm gonna talk to my Auntie Riri. Hey, Auntie Riri. Hopefully you watching this episode. I love you so much, but I'm about to talk about you right quick. I was playing over a month ago. I was playing with my aunt and my 2 aunts, and I was playing with them and another young man, and playing with them and my Auntie Teresa. Ooh, she kept underbidding. She would say like, I got 3 books. Meantime, she got 6 books over there in her hand. And I'm thinking, man, I'm over here like, oh, if she got 3, I know I got 4 in my hand. No. We are over there getting set. We trying to reach blind 7. We doing this, we doing that because she underbid it. Watch this. I want to say this to you right quick. There are a lot of people right now that are underbidding on you. They are underbidding on you, huh? They're saying, oh, I know they can't do that. Oh, I know they don't have the potential to do that. I know they don't have the quality in them to do that. I know they don't have the education to do that. They don't have a degree this. They don't have this. They don't have that. They've only been working at this kind of job. They live here. They drive this. They wear this. They look like this. There are people right now underbidding you and underbidding what you can do. But I promise you, it is your job. It is your responsibility to get back and say, hey, I understood. You may have underbidded on me, but I promise you, I'm coming back and I'm coming strong to the point in spades vernacular. I'm coming back and I'm going to set you. You're not even going to be able to make the books that you said what you was going to make, because the way that I'm coming so hard for you, I promise I'm coming back with a vengeance, and I'm coming to get you. I'm coming to make sure. And I'm not doing it for revenge purposes. It does you no good to let revenge consume you. It does no good to let revenge consume you. I swear, it does no good to let revenge consume you. Always keep it in your mind. I want to do better for me purposes. I want to do better for me. I want to overcome those naysayers for me. I had a shirt on in my last episode. It said, invest in yourself. And it's taken me so long in my life to understand what that meant, what it means to invest in myself, even when I've been dealt a bad hand. I said, I said I wasn't gonna get on this podcast and start acting like this. But I promise you, you have to learn to invest in yourself, even when you've been dealt that bad hand, even when everything in life starts to look like it's coming against you. I promise you, it's up to you to learn to maneuver, to learn how to do things a little bit differently, right? I want to say something to you. I'm going back to spades again, right? So my auntie, she would keep underbidding, and because she would underbid, they would make their books and then some, and eventually they whooped us 2 times in a row. But there was one particular game, when we were playing the game, and there was one particular set of the set that we had. She reneged. Ow! And I was so happy. And I was happy because she reneged, because I got 3 books. We got 3 books from that renege, and we actually got our set. If it wasn't for her reneging, then we wouldn't have made our books for that round. And I was so glad because she messed up. And because she slipped up, I was able to get what I needed to do in order to be able to move forward in my likings and in my ways. So, hey, I'm still talking about picking your poison, right? Sometimes you have been dealt the bad hand. Sometimes you have been doing this, but I promise you, keep persevering. Look, we're going to stop right here for a second for a quick ad, and we'll be right back, you guys. Yo, let's take a quick break right here. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with mesothelioma, okay, no, this is not one of those kind of. It's not one of those kind of ads. I'm sorry, had to get that out. But look, have you been looking to start a podcast and you don't really know where to get the tools, right? Or maybe let's just say you're looking to generate some extra income in your life, and you want to get those tools to start making that extra income. Well, let me help you out right quick. Visit the links below in the description, and you will find that I have already set out podcasting equipment, everyday life things that you might need to make your life better. Go ahead and visit my Amazon storefront, click those links below, and I promise you, and let's make the first steps to making our lives better. Just click the link below and let's get to changing your life. Now, let's get back to ranting. All right, guys, welcome back. Look, and we're moving swiftly along with the episode. Like I said, I don't want to make them too long, new episodes. Let's see, next season, we'll try to shoot for a little bit longer. But put out a social media poll, and I'm so excited about the engagement that I got. I told you guys, we are building a tribe. We are building a community. We're not just building followers. We're not just building people who won't take advice. We're building a tribe, okay? We're building people who can feed upon each other. So put a poll on my social media, Instagram polling, just see kind of like a little fun game. And of course, Pick Your Poison is a card game. In no way have I been sponsored by Pick Your Poison, but hey, go ahead and buy the little card game. I promise you, it will liven up your next game night. So first Pick Your Poison is this: annoying, high-pitched voice or a deep, manly voice. And I had 21% of the voters said annoying, high-pitched voice, and 79% of the voters said deep, manly voice. Yeah. No. That's for men as well. And so co-producer said that, that poll should have been just for women because every man would prefer a deep, manly voice. But I'm a singer. And if I had think about this, annoying, high-pitched voice sometimes make some of the best singers. Prime example, I know y'all heard Michelet talk before. Oh, my God. She sounds horrible. But her singing voice is not bad. The way Michelet talks is horrible. Oh, I hate it. Have you ever heard Michelet talk? Oh, but everybody knows how Michelet talks. Like, she talks in a very, very annoying, high-pitched voice. But her singing voice is great. I love that about her. Deep manly voice. So I mean, if I guess I had to pick one of the two, I mean, I'm gonna still go together. I'm gonna still pick deep manly voice. I mean, still I'm gonna go with that. No, I'm not insecure about my voice. I don't think I have a deep voice. I don't think I have a high voice. I'm kind of like my skin tone. I'm not light skinned. I'm not dark skinned. I'm kind of not brown skinned. I mean, I'm like this little caramel hybrid or something. It's pretty weird. All right, next pick your poison is, I don't know why I've been reaching across here like this, y'all, when I could just lift up this hand. See, crazy. So it said funny but really stupid, or boring but really smart. All right, here we go. 27% of the voters voted that they would be funny but really stupid. 73% of the voters said that they would be boring but really smart. Now, we've all seen test of times where people who are very funny, or they're kind of stupid, and, you know, I'm just not going to name any names because those people make more money than me right now. So let's not talk about them. But incredibly funny, but just not intelligent. And that's kind of like with smartness. So to me, in my mindset, being smart just means to know how to be cunning. It doesn't necessarily mean being knowledgeable or being intelligent. And smart will only take you so far, because being smart means that you're fast, you're cunning, you can, you know, offer up a quick approach. It sounds good until you have to be in those situations where you have to slow down a little bit. And now people understand that you really don't know what you're talking about. And so I think that's kind of what it goes with here. Funny can take you a lot of different places. It could put you in front of the best people. But what happens when you're not in that stage? What happens when you're not in that environment where being funny works for you, right? It does not work in your favor, being funny. That also goes with the downsides of being boring, but really smart. There are probably so many geniuses on this planet, right? Wow, that is interesting right there. Thanks, co-producer, for that alarm. So boring but really smart kind of goes against it as well, right? Because what happens when you need to entertain people? What happens when you need to tell people how smart you are, but you are horrible? So I said this before, right? So I graduated salutatorian of my class in high school. But I'm not the smartest, but I am comparably. I know how to be smart and cunning at the same time. It's a twofold cord. You can't just be intelligent for intelligence sake. You can't just be a good spokesperson for spokespersonness. You know what I'm saying? You have to know how to balance the two and let it work in your behalf. I'll say it to anybody. I can sell anything to anybody. I can sell water to something that lives. I can sell water to a fish. I promise you I can. Something that should come from them naturally, I can sell it to them. I believe I've just been gifted by God to be able to know how to verbalize a lot of different things, and it always works in my behalf. And so that's what I'm saying right here. You know, it's hard trying to, you know, when I say pick your poison, that's why it's pick your poison, because you have to choose either or. But in life, you need the two. You don't just need the one. All right, next one says famous or rich. I know what a lot of people might want to say, but I want to give some stuff about this. So famous, 17% of the voters said they would be famous. 83% of the voters said that they would be rich. Watch this. This is the point I want to make. Okay, my answer to the last question, of course, would have been boring, but really smart. My answer for this question, though, I would rather be famous. Let me tell you why. If I'm famous, for the rest of my life, I can find a way to be rich. Because when you're famous, no matter what you're doing, they will buy it. I'm telling you, if you're a famous person, people will buy the shirt off your back just because you wore it. Now, and that kind of puts you, now you don't necessarily have to be rich, but you'll be well off. I don't necessarily have to be rich, but if I'm famous, I want to be wealthy, not rich. I see a co-producer over there looking at me like, you don't want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. I want to be financially free. Big ups to Natalie Nicole and Anthony O'Neill for teaching me that about financial freedom, how to be free in life. It's not just about being rich. It's not just about being wealthy, but how can I be free, right? So going back to what I was saying, if I'm just being rich, But I guess that's just me and my personality, right? Me and my mind, one day I want to be a household name. I want people to know about the Lewis brand. I want people to know who Xavian D. Lewis is. I desire that level. And so that's just me personally, if I decide to be famous. But then if you're rich, you decide to be rich, you don't have to worry about being famous. You could be rich in peace, because we understand that fame doesn't always come with peace. It comes with the rah. It comes with this. It comes with that. It comes with a lot, right? Coming up to the next one, it said travel everywhere for free or eat everywhere for free. Here we go. Y'all know I love to eat. But my answer for the question, of course, is travel everywhere for free. 83% of the voters said travel everywhere for free. 17% of the voters said eat everywhere for free. And this is just me and my predictions. I'm like, if I can travel everywhere for free, I can find some money to eat. Think about this. If I could travel, and it's just laying on my heart. I don't know why God has me like this, but I just need to get to Dubai. Hey, maybe I'm talking to somebody right there in the camera right there. If you want to fund for me to go to Dubai, me and my co-producer to take a trip to Dubai, all expenses paid for, you just hit me up. I just feel like God just wants you to do that. But if I could travel everywhere for free, I could find the money to eat. I can find the money to buy some clothes. I can find the money for transportation. But if I just could travel everywhere for free, it would just make a world of difference. All right, here we go. Last one, be able to fly or be able to turn invisible. 31% of the voters said they would like to be able to fly. 69% of the voters said, you want to get on the mic? Okay. Oh, okay. So she made the point that she's kind of saying that these are much kind of like would you rather instead of pick your poisons. Okay, well, well, these are would you rathers, I guess. So be able to fly or be able to turn invisible. My answer would be to be able to fly. The co-producer, I'm trying to be professional and not call my girlfriend. My co-producer made a great point in the car earlier, and she was like, but what if you, like how we run, we're all able to run, but all of us are not able to necessarily run fast. And what if flying worked the same way? Like, what if we had the ability to fly, but we couldn't fly fast? Like, we flew at the amount of exercise ability that we had. Very, very interesting thought. Very, very interesting thought. Now, to me, I feel like people who want to be able to turn invisible, weirdos. People who want to turn invisible, I just feel like, what's going on in your mind? What's going on in your mind? Like, okay, well, some people would say shy, but I feel like people who want to turn invisible, it gives intrusive. It gives you don't trust people. It gives that you have privacy issues. I don't mean to talk about you, but I'm talking about you. If you voted for be able to turn invisible, because I just feel like, that's just a little incy weird. But coming up to the end of the episode, guys, and I want to talk to you right quick about something. My teacher back in the 10th grade, Miss Latoya Fleming. Hey, Miss Fleming, how you doing? I love you so much. Thank you for putting this quote in my heart and my mind. She said something so integral to me. She said, and she said it to all of my classmates. She put it up on the wall. Our teachers decorate their wall for the semester. And the quote said, learn to grow where you've been planted. And we talked about it. And this was at a time period where we would write 5-paragraph essays in 15 minutes based on I don't know what y'all did, but we would be writing essays in short amount of times. Now, we used to write 5-paragraph essays in like 15 minutes, and we would be talking about ethical subjects. And this particular day, we wrote about her quote on the wall. What does it mean to, learn to grow where you've been planted? Not all the time. Watch this. This is so good to me. When a planter goes out to plant seeds, the seed doesn't open its mouth and say, hey, I want to be planted here. Cue the music. Cue it. Cue it up right there. I didn't even have to say it before. Cue the music right here. As the seed, you are the seed. Not all the time are you the planter. You are the seed, depending on this subject and this point of time in your life, this season of your life. And you can't open your mouth and verbalize where you want to be planted. You just have to learn to adapt to the environment that you're planted in. This is for you. This is for you right here, right now, on an episode talking about picking your poison, where we have to sometimes been dealt that bad hand and we're dealing with things in life that we had nothing to do with. We didn't have any say-so in it. We're just here having to deal with life, and life be lifing. But I come to tell you that God is always going to be God. I don't mean to preach to you right now, but I'm trying to provide you a little inspiration on a Monday morning. I'm telling you, learn to grow where you've been planted. Think about a weed, right? And we all know what weeds do. Weeds aren't necessarily the best thing for an environment, but when you tell a child might say, I want to go out and pick some flowers. Mom, I want to go out and pick some flowers, Dad. And they come back with a handful of weeds. And they say, oh my God, but these weeds are so pretty. I grew up in Mississippi. There were always like these little purple weeds, and I thought they were the prettiest flowers, not to realize they were weeds. But those weeds will grow anywhere. Weeds will grow in the cracks, in the sidewalk. They will grow anywhere. And we should all learn to take example from those weeds and learn to grow where we've been planted. I'm sorry I got loud with you today. I'm sorry. Let me calm down. Learn to grow where you've been planted. I know this season, it's different, okay? But learn to steward over what you've been given. Learn to take what you've been given and just say, hey, it may not be the best. It may not be top dollar. I may don't have Lay's sour cream and onion chips. I've been given great value sour cream and onion. But I'm going to take this sour cream and onion chip and I'm going to make it the best chip it has ever been before, because it's just what I've been given. How do you change chip? I don't know, but you just have to do it. I'm telling you right now, learn to grow you've been planted. Take this moment in your life and steward what you've been given at a different level. Steward what you've been given at a different level. Act like it's the best thing you've ever had. Treat what you've been given as if you already have what you desire to have. No, you're not in that 5-bedroom, 2-story, but go ahead and treat that 1-bedroom studio apartment like it's that high rise that you want. Go ahead and start treating that car like it's that brand new car that you've been looking at on the lot. Go ahead and start treating what you've been given as if it's already what you want. College students, you just got out of college and you're not working in your field yet. You're just still working at the Walmart. You're working at the Target. You're working at fast food restaurants. Start coming in on time. Come in a little bit early. Show some extra initiative. Start building those leadership skills where you already are. And I promise you, when you start to develop in the next season, it won't be new to you. And people will start looking at you and they'll start saying things like, oh my God, have you already worked here before? Oh my God, have you already done this before? Oh my God, have you done this before? You seem like you're a natural. I promise you, just start to learn to grow where you've been planted. Thank you guys so much. Let's cut the music. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of I Rant Too with Xavian D. This has been episode 3, Pick Your Poison. And while our social media was more would you rather than pick your poison, I still had a great time talking to you guys today. Go ahead and listen to the outro right now. Love you guys. Look, hopefully I haven't ranted too much. But look, if you enjoyed that episode, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you have to do to let me know that you enjoyed this episode, and go ahead and run to those comments and give me your personal rantings, because look, I accept all of it. But look, if you're looking to be a part of an exclusive community of what I like to call ranters, you can go right over to the link below for the Patreon. $5 a month. Yes, just $5 a month for behind the scenes content. You can click anything, everything you want. Bonus episodes, it will be located in the Patreon. So click the link below. $5 a month to join the Patreon. Look, I promise you, you won't regret it. You won't regret it at all. But look, always remember, they rant, you rant, but I rant too. See y'all next week, folks.